The Nightmare Before Christmas, also known as Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, is a 1993 American stop-motion animated musical dark fantasy film directed by Henry Selick in his feature directorial debut, and produced and conceived by Tim Burton. It tells the story of Jack Skellington, the king of Halloween Town, who stumbles upon Christmas Town and schemes to take over the holiday. Danny Elfman wrote the songs and score and provided the singing voice of Jack. The principal voice cast includes Chris Sarandon, Catherine O'Hara, William Hickey, Ken Page, Paul Reubens, Glenn Shadix, and Ed Ivory. The Nightmare Before Christmas originated in a poem written by Burton in 1982 while he was working as an animator at Walt Disney Productions. With the success of Vincent in the same year, Burton began to consider developing The Nightmare Before Christmas as either a short form or half-an-hour television special, to no avail. Over the years, Burton's thoughts regularly returned to the project, and in 1990 he made the development deal with Walt Disney Studios. Production started in July 1991 in San Francisco. Disney initially released the film through Touchstone Pictures because the studio believed the film would be too dark and scary for kids. The film was met with both critical and commercial success, earning praise for its animation, particularly for the innovation of the stop-motion art form, characters, songs, and score. It grossed $91.5 million worldwide since its initial release and garnered a cult following. It was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, a first for an animated film, but lost out to Jurassic Park. The film has since been reissued by Walt Disney Pictures and was re-released annually in Disney Digital 3D from 2006 until 2010. Selick and his team of animators began production in July 1991 in San Francisco, California, with a crew of 120 workers, utilizing 20 sound stages for filming. Joe Rampt was hired from Disney as a storyboard supervisor, while Eric Langton was hired to supervise the animation. At the peak of the production, 20 individual stages were simultaneously being used for filming. In total, there were 109,440 frames taken for the film. Selick described production design as akin to a pop-up book. On the direction of the film, Selick reflected, "It's as though Burton laid the egg and I sat in it and it hatched it. He wasn't involved in a hands-on way, but his hands are in it. It was my job to make it look like a Tim Burton film, which is not so different from my own films." Burton had chosen not to direct as he had simultaneously been filming Batman Returns and also was in pre-production for Ed Wood. The filmmakers constructed 227 puppets to represent the characters in the movie, with Jack Skellington having around 400 heads, allowing expressions for every possible emotion. Sally's mouth movements were animated through the replacement method. During the animation process, only Sally's face mask was removed in order to preserve the order of her long red hair. Sally had 10 types of faces, each made with a series of 11 expressions, e.g. eyes open and closed in various facial poses, and synchronized mouth movements. The stop-motion figurine of Jack was reused in James and the Giant Peach, also directed by Selick, as Captain Jack. The main cast includes Chris Sarandon as the speaking voice and Danny Elfman as the singing voice of Jack Skellington, a skeleton known as Pumpkinkin of Halloween Town. Elfman was initially cast as Jack's singing voice, and after the songs were recorded, Sarandon was cast to match Elfman's voice styles. Catherine O'Hara as Sally, a ragdoll Frankenstein monster-like creation of Finkelstein and Jack's love interest. She is a toxicologist who uses various types of poison to liberate herself from the captivity of her father. She is also psychic and has premonitions when anything bad is about to happen. O'Hara had previously co-starred in Burton's Beetlejuice. William Hickey as Dr. Finkelstein, a mad scientist and the loving but overbearing father of Sally. He's listed in the credits as only the evil scientist, as he only is mentioned by name twice in the film. Glenn Shadix is the mayor of Halloween Town, an enthusiastic leader who conducts town meetings. His wild mood swings from happy to distraught because his head spins between happy and sad face, where some career politicians are described as figuratively two-faced. The mayor is literally so. Ken Page is Oogie Boogie, a villainous boogeyman in Halloween Town who has a passion for gambling and a rivalry with Jack. Ed Ivory is Santa Claus, the ruler of Christmas Town. Santa is responsible for the annual celebration of Christmas, in which he delivers presents to children in the real world. He's also referred to by Jack and Halloween Town's residents as Sandy Claus. Now, I remember watching this back in the day, and I was absolutely blown away as a child, and of course I found it quite sort of unnerving and quite scary. In the same time, though, even as a child, I could really appreciate it for how unique it was. Watching it again now as an adult, it is a stunningly original and delightfully beautiful work, in what must have been a painstaking process to get the stop-motion animation to come to life, as it were, before our eyes. Just that alone makes me appreciate this film on another level. But even looking beyond that, this film is filled with imagination that carries us into a new realm, into a new idea of what Christmas can be and how it can be viewed in a different light. For me, this is 74 minutes of movie magic at its best. This film has something to offer for about everyone. For kids, it's complete fantasy, and it celebrates two of the favorite holidays of the year, Halloween and Christmas. For adults, though, it's an opportunity to experience some fantastic, wonderful movie techniques and light entertainment, but also with quite a deep, dark, and interesting story. There are laughs, there are songs, there's even some romance. And for me, you can definitely draw comparisons, for example, to A Brothers Grimm tale or Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The character of Jack is complicated and multi-dimensional, and that's what I found so fascinating about him. In many ways, he is supposed to be evil, but really he's actually got such a big heart and is fundamentally a good trickster, where the character of Oogie Boogie is the antagonist within the film. The voice work is on point from all the cast. The songs are beautiful, touching and moving, and I feel that Henry Selick has really put in so much effort, firstly to capture the essence of Burton's imagination within the film, but also to put his own spin onto it. And just the mere fact that all of this is stop-motion animation, and that each character literally had to be moved inch by inch in order to make us watch a 74-minute film is just mind-blowing when you think about it, and absolutely breathtaking. It's one of those films that never dates, and you can watch it time and time again, and for me it fulfills the exact meaning of what Christmas should be. But in the same breath, of course, allows for complete and utter escapism and enjoyment. A Nightmare Before Christmas gets a 9 out of 10.